Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 25 of Republic the Revolution. Our battle is growing ever easier as we march onwards against our enemies. However, we can't forget the home front, which remains crucially important at the moment. We need to organize ourselves to hold our base areas. And as well as this, we need to continue moving onwards to prevent our opposition from having even a moment of respite. We can't yield at all to them, and this must be remembered. Fortunately for us, Comrade Yuri Kramov is here to contribute to our revolution. And if push comes to shove and we have to throw Boris Chernyayev out of the movement, then at least we'll have somebody who can more or less fulfill his role of a working class agitator.
Я грузна и побеждала, и обнимала, и верно, и вторно, и дуже.
Wait, I just realized that this entire thing, this favoring action, is a speech check. Well, I didn't even know that, to be honest. So we'll have to arrange it again and do it again. And I believe that the best person to do that, to have the talk with our comrade Chernyayev, would be Comrade Oleg Baturin. We'll set a reminder and we'll get this done. We need to get this done, because otherwise we're going to lose Chernyayev to our enemies. He might go to the cartel, he might go to the mafia. I just hope that he stays away from the anarchists. Now we have a massive surplus of force points, and I guess that we need to start using those more. And so I'm going to dispatch Comrade Kramov for some more scouting missions. We need to take control of this city by all means. We already control 3 influence districts, we're on the verge of getting our 4th one, but we need a 5th one to make sure that we can move on and form the charitable trust that I'm looking forward to. If we can do that, we'll have a legal front through which to confront the Karasov regime and a way to recruit people far more easily to our cause. Now we're going to organize Mr. Kramov's graffiti here to make sure that it appeals to the desires of the working class. So it's going to be anti-capitalism. Since of course, we're doing this among the most disadvantaged people in this society, and I'm certain that they're angry with the system. I'm realizing, however, that the cartel has gained massive ground in Potemkin Plaza. And not being the kind of person to allow that to slip by, I'm going to have them publicly condemned. In the meantime, we've cemented our hold over the Alexandrovsk Industrial Park. We've begun to retake like a common. Pugachev Central is being targeted by some activities. The Udaltsova precinct is decisively ours. So all is looking quite well. To tell the truth, I'm actually very much starting to enjoy this game. Even though I previously considered it to be quite slow-paced and boring, I must admit that I enjoy winning. Doesn't everybody? Anyhow, we've got more things to do. We've got districts to take, enemies to crush, victories to claim. The statistics are in for day 88. And now we have seen our triumph. We are first place, we're above the cartel, above the anarchists, and far above the mafia. We've put them all down, and our resolve, although declining, is nonetheless relatively good. Our level is high, our resources are very high, and looking at it all, I can say that we are on the rise. The only bad thing that could happen to us now would be a catastrophe similar to the one that prolonged our stay in Ekaterine by about 3 episodes, which would be Comrade Churniev dropping out of the movement. Now we're going to organize some more graffiti among the working class. And we're also going to have to get ready for this important meeting, since this is going to decide pretty much whether Churniev is staying with us or if he's going to run away. I trust him, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid that he'll leave me very, very disappointed. And if there's one thing that I do not enjoy, it is disappointment. I'm wondering whether it would be a good idea to assault a member of the anarchists. Perhaps Nikanor Karpin, although he's with the mafia. Perhaps Danila Belinsky, who's with the cartel. Since at the moment our main enemies are the cartel and the anarchists. The mafia are not really a threat any longer. Now it appears that the press is once more going against us. A smear campaign has been launched, and I am not at all satisfied with this. We're under attack, we're going to have to strike back with all our power. At some point we can work to start grinding down the members of the anarchists and of the mafia and the cartel, of course. Funnily enough, looking at the anarchists, it seems they're all people of high status. You have a politician, you have a national hero, so on, so forth, la la la. However, I amn't noticing any actual working class members of the anarchist movement, which probably goes to show the fact that they are not a working class movement, they are just pretending to be appealing to the masses, when in fact they are nothing more than a bunch of opportunists. Now I'll be preparing another rally, this time in Udalsova precinct, which will hopefully win back some control over the Alexandrovsk Industrial Park, Pugachev Central, and some more areas. We need to act decisively and resolutely if we want to be in with the chance to triumph. The most important thing here is persuading Churniev that it's in his best interests to remain alongside the NPRM. Because no matter how many points and how much land we may have, if we don't have any members in our movement, it will all be for nothing. Now let's give a quick speech to the masses at this little rally in Udalsova precinct. We're going to take our customary inspirational look at the road, and we're going to turn right back around, and we're going to march up there, we're going to march up to that wooden pedestal, and we're going to inspire some sons of bitches. We're going to build up our movement, we're going to save our movement, we are going to triumph in the name of our movement. The people have been waiting for us, and we're about to silence them right here and right now. They're picketing, they're standing, they're getting ready to hear this spectacle. They're getting ready to pay heed to the words of their revolutionary leader. Dear friends and comrades of the revolution, you have all made a very good choice attending today's rally. For this is a rally to dispel the climate of shame that has been placed upon our nation, upon our culture, upon our population. We are banding together today to counter those who have subjugated us, those who have strangled our liberty, who have taken advantage of this nation's situation at the expense of the common man. It is the duty of our patriotic movement, the NPRM, to defeat such elements, to crush them, to lead the people to victory, to bring forward the rebirth of this nation's culture, the rebirth of this nation's future. And such a future must be guaranteed through the actions of each and every one of us. We shall challenge the dictatorship of Mr. Karasov. We shall challenge those who stand against us. We shall challenge all who stand against the people until our battle is won. And my confidence is in all of you that you shall be able to fight in this battle and to win. Thank you all very much. And that's the rally concluded. A bit of narration never hurts. Now we've got to attend this action here, the favoring action. We've got to make sure that we remain on track. We need to attack our enemies. We need to make their support deteriorate completely. We've got to strike decisively. Meanwhile, the anarchists have taken over the Udalsova precinct, and so our rally was completely ineffectual because everybody else in the precinct was busy listening to those anarchist rats. Well, you know what? I've had enough of this. We've got a movement to save. Now, first of all, we're going to boost Ikramov's statistics, strengthen his control, and his charisma, and of course his presence, and give him the Union strike ability. Soon we shall organize the workers in decisive action against the traitors who claim to be in opposition when they are in fact anything but in the opposition. Now, the most pressing matter here is making sure that Chernyayev does not abandon the movement. Because if he doesn't change his ways, I will be forced to eject him from the movement myself. and to turn to someone else to fill his role, whoever that may be. Ikramov is continuing with his underground graffiti activities. He, unlike Chernyayev, is an example of a proud patriotic revolutionary. He's doing his duty for the movement, and he isn't afraid to do it either. If anything, that's what I'm so proud of. We must, however, realize that our movement is under attack in all directions. We've got to break the anarchists, because they're the ones who are constantly conspiring against us. And when I say break them, I mean it. I'm going to break them decisively. We will physically assault them, we will break their kneecaps if we have to, we will come out on top, no matter what. Even if the only thing placing us above them is the fact that they will be down on their hands and knees. Our position is under attack on all fronts by the anarchists. Having assessed the situation, it's quite obvious that they're working hand in hand with the cartel. Now we're going to see how this favoring action works and see if we can actually get Chernyayev persuaded to rejoin the movement. If anybody should be able to do that, it ought to be Comrade Baturin, with his soothing, albeit commanding voice, and his spiritual nature. He should be able to promise Chernyayev something that even I was unable to do. Shaking hands like good old friends. It's obvious that their time together in the movement has led to a bond. I'm just hoping that this bond will be good enough to get Mr. Chernyayev to reaffirm his loyalty. I'm hoping that this conversation will go well enough. I'm hoping that this duo will be able to become the legendary pair that took over the city once more. Because it is through the joint actions of Chernyayev and Baturin that we were able to capture the hearts and minds of the town of Pugachev. Hopefully we'll pull it off again. We'll use the same tactics as always. Here's hoping that they work. If they don't, we'll be in a very, very poor situation, to say the very least. Although Baturin's charms should hopefully be sufficient. If they aren't, I'll be quite annoyed. Baturin is quite clearly explaining the necessity of acting within the movement. The necessity of being a revolutionary. Now the victory threshold is lower than his one, which is a very good sign.
И вернется, а так и нас начнется, и приждуется. А я что сказал, да? А я же заслужил, да?
I'm just hoping that we can come out on top here.
А я ж нас говорю, что Ижна не побеждала, и вернется, и примется такая штукенция.
If we can come out on top, I will be very, very glad. If we fail, I will not be glad at all. I will be very, very mad.
А я ж нас говорю, что...
We're on the verge of success. Can we pull it off?
И вернется, и примется
We've
такая
done it.
штукенция.
We've browbeaten Chernyayev back into loyalty. Success is glorious! What in the name of God? How did that reduce his resolve by 20? What the hell? Were we supposed to lose? Fuck's sake. Or to quote many a Novistranan citizen, Bliet. That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I don't mind. We've got to pull ourselves together. And from now on, we're going to organize activities with Chernyayev for as long as he's willing to remain loyal. If he abandons us, he can suit himself. Because I don't give a damn. I'm gonna take the maximum advantage of his skills while I still can. Because now Mr. Baturin's resolve has collapsed as well. And so our movement is on the verge of utter collapse. Well, isn't that just magnificent? Isn't that just great? We're falling apart. And now we're going to watch the entire NPRM effectively implode on itself in slow motion. But while we still have the power, I'm going to go out in one big blaze of glory. I'm going to attack the anarchists, I'm going to hit them hard, I'm going to make them regret every single thing they have ever done. The anarchists have finally decided to openly declare effectively a war on us. They think that this will be the way for them to triumph, although they should know by now that they will never come out on top. Never, ever, ever. We're continuing on our campaign. We're running low on points. We're exerting all of our powers to make sure that we come out on top here. Because the situation continues to grow worse and worse. And I'm not having any of this anymore. I'm going to strike back with decisive and unforgettable fury. But I'll be leaving that for the very next episode. If you're enjoying the series, don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you want to keep your kneecaps. I've been the Nerd Gamer, thank you very much for watching, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and goodbye for today.